about Cy Twombly, trying to understand more about his work. And I was reading a book, and it said that when he was in basic training, he would lay in his bunk at night, and in the dark, he would put paper on the bunk beneath him, above him, and he would make marks in the dark. And he was trying to remove what his hand knows about language. And I just found that really fascinating, because our hand inherently, if you give someone a pen, they're going to make their name. Immediately our hand starts trying to communicate through words. And so I was thinking about mark making and language, and a lot of my work investigates the line between chaos and order. And so I wanted to make this really impulsive, intuitive, chaotic mark. And so I closed my eyes and I made a scribble. And then I took my computer and I scanned it in. And I used Adobe Illustrator to trace the scan of my scribble. And then my computer created a code. So when I send it to the CNC router, or in this case the laser, my computer takes that information and creates binary code. And I can see that on my screen when it's processing the lines. And so it's this idea of this really orderly system that's bringing into existence this really chaotic mark. And all these many numbers that came out of that really quick mark that I closed my eyes on. So I started with these scribbles, and anytime I'm working with an image, I do many iterations of it. So a lot of times something may become a sculpture, and then it may become a print, and then it may become a video, and then it may become another sculpture, and it just snowballs and turns from one thing into another. And so this scribble became these glitches, these metal glitches. And so we can walk over here and look at this one. So this is kind of the same process that I was using with the scribble in a way. I used a filter and I made my scribble in Adobe Illustrator, and in real time, as I was making the mark, the computer chose points along the mark of my hand, and it created these squarish, I'm calling them squovels because they kind of look like a square with oval corners. And so when my hand moves quickly, the squovels are bigger, and then when my hand's moving faster, they're on top of each other and they're more dense. And so this idea of dense and sparse information was really interesting. And when I saw the scribble, to me it became like a collaboration between me and my computer. Like, it's this intuitive mark that's very inherent. My hand knows to make this circly, scribbly mark, but my computer translated it into all these screens. I still don't know 100% where they're going, but I did read a book called Emergence that's about artificial intelligence. And in that book, the author says, for every generation, there's an image that's burned into our collective retinas. And we're not even aware that it's something that we see that's so omnipresent that it's everywhere. And for our generation, he said that image is a stack of screens, information on screens, phone screens, television screens, just this overwhelm. We live in an information era where it's just overwhelming amounts of noise and digging through that for a signal, which is really what all my work is about. So that when I read that book and I saw this glitch, I was like, that's it. It's that stack of screens, that stack of overlapping information. And so today Jeff just brought another level into that work, because he let this metal glitch speak in a different way, and he found the vibration and the patterns within it and gave it its own voice and collaborated with it and brought it to another iteration of maybe where it's going to go next.
Right in front of her camera.
Oh, it wasn't even on.